fix our problems, and you just never solve them, cause you always in drama. It's alarming, it's alarming. Girl, I just need clarity. Can you just let me breathe? Oh, I don't wanna let you in, but it's too late now.
So it's time for another video on deadline day, and George Evans is set to sign for Wrexham from Millwall. Now this is a crazy one, to be honest, and one that was not expected. We'd heard the rumours of Brandon Hanlon, the video will be out for that very, very soon, most probably. But 28-year-old midfielder George Evans is set to sign for Wrexham from Millwall. Now what do we know about George Evans? Well, he is at number 6, he's a defensive midfielder, and to be honest, you know, he's a decent little player at that. Now, the best way to explain is we go off last season's statistics, which he played 11 games. Well, he played 13 games in all competitions. In them 11 games, he played 66 minutes. But he has played for, like, Reading, Derby County, Crewe, which we are going to get into a player profile in a second. Now, for me, he's going to add to that because dropping from the Championship to League 2, it's probably where he's going to get more games. Now, he can play centre-half and he can play central midfield as well as defensive midfield. Now, career-wise, in July 1st, 2012, he graduated from Manchester City's under-18 to under-21 side. He then went on loan in October 28, 2013 from Man City's under-21 side to Crewe, in which he returned May 31st, 2014. In 2015, January 30th, that is, he went on loan to Scunthorpe United and returned back April 30th, 2015. In October 20th, 2015, he went out on loan to Walsall and returned January 16th, 2016. He then went out on loan from January 19th, 2016 to Reading. Well, he went out on a free transfer to Reading, that was. And then he went from Reading to Derby on July 31st, 2018, and then he left Derby February 1st, 2021 to join Millwall. And now he is linked with Wrexham. Well, it looks like he's actually signed for Wrexham because he's been pictured at the training ground. And if I can get a picture for you on screen to show that, it shows a lot, to be honest. Now, this season, he's played 3 games in all competitions. He played 13 minutes in the 2 games he played in league, in the Championship. And to be honest, it's crazy, you know, you look at it and you know, you've got to take that bigger picture of things of George Evans and things like that. Now, injury-wise, look, he's had a foot injury, which he missed 10 days at Crewe. He missed 7 games he missed for Crewe, which is quite mad. But that was in total between the England under-19s and Crewe, so make us what you want on that. And then he had a hamstring injury in the 2020-2021 season, in which he missed 4 games for Derby. So it's a bit of a mad one, to be honest, and it does sound a bit rushed, but it is manic today in terms of transfer deadline day. Now, what does this mean for Wrexham? Now, it's another midfielder, and don't get me wrong, you've got the likes of Luke Young, Tom O'Connor, Andy Cannon, James Jones, Elliot Lee, Jordan Davis. So you look at it and you've got to split it up into where does he fit into the side. Now, you've got to look at it as he plays in the same position as Tom O'Connor and Luke Young, and potentially Andy Cannon as well. So you've got to look at that and go, is there potential departures in today's squad? Now, I'm going to say yeah. There's probably 1 or 2 people who are probably going to departure from today's squad, but this is the first of many. And, you know, to see a player like him get in the team, it'd be nice to see him settle, but he's also got to prove himself. He's got to hit players and stuff like that. I've not seen highlights of him, so I couldn't tell you what my thoughts are on him. But looking statistically, from a statistical point of view, you do have to look and go, well, this is my thoughts on the signing of George Evans. This is what he can bring to the team. Now, it looks as set as stone of the formation's probably going to end up staying the same. Now, for me, if I was to sign a defender, you know, it probably, he's not a defender, he's a defensive midfielder. But if I was going to sign a defender, looking at it right now, probably would be a left wing back, in all honesty. But, I mean, I don't really know. Listen, it's a mad transfer, to be honest. It's something that's been plucked out the air out of nowhere, but people have been calling for a midfielder that can hit. I mean, Tom O'Connor wasn't really the best in the second half against Barrow on the weekend. So you've got to look at it from that point of view. You've got to take things into consideration and stuff like that. And what happens next, I mean, he has had the time to keep Luke Young out the side. You know, you've seen it. Luke Young has been out the side this season, and then he's come back in the side, completely influenced the side. But could that see a Luke Young departure? Could that see something that's in terms of what is a shock transfer on transfer deadline day? Now, it's, I say, it's one of them really that you've got to welcome him in, you've got to back him, and you've got to really just see what he's about and what he can do, really. But yeah, the 2 games that he has played for Millwall in the Championship this season, he has featured on the bench. Now, in the 21-22 season, he did make 23 appearances, scoring 1 goal and 1 assist. Played a total of 1,150 minutes in the Championship. So if you can get him playing to that stability where he can get 23 to 25 games a season out of him, or maybe a bit more, he can probably hit the heights of playing for playing back in the Championship again. You know, it's a brilliant signing for Wrexham, and it's something that bolsters the squad. Now, it's about experience, which is in terms of what the players have got, because if you look at the players and where they've come from, the majority of them have EFL experience, so there's no excuses now. But it's all about how he fits into this Wrexham side, whether you see a change in formation, whether you see, I don't know, there's plenty of things that could be changed throughout the squad. Now, Wrexham do have a big squad, which is just it's no coincidence, to be honest, in terms of that. So, where do you see George Evans fitting in? Do you see him starting? Do you see Tom O'Connor or Luke Young departing? Do you see Andy Cannon potentially departing? Because he's not looked up to scratch since he's come to Wrexham, if I'm honest. He's not looked that complete midfielder that we all expected from him. So there's plenty of factors and plenty of things to take into consideration in terms of Wrexham and George Evans. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and tap that bell for more notifications as and when I do upload. Let me know your thoughts on George Evans, and yeah, just in terms of what you expect from him, for him coming to Wrexham and other things like that. But yeah, as I say, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and tap that bell for more notifications as and when we do upload. And hopefully we can see Wrexham bring in some more experienced players in the positions that we need. Fingers crossed, a striker.